Hey, what's up? It's Rashad, Antonio. We like this is just the upon further review because we be talking about stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
we was about to talk about this offline. I was like, shoot, might as well record it. Everybody says we love rap and hip
Mm-hmm.
hop and all
Mm-hmm.
things Black American culture because we are Black Americans. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, what is being caught up in now the zeitgeist is one Kendrick Lamar Duckworth and R.B. Drake Graham. And it's just everywhere. And I gotta be very honest. When I mean I was not productive this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
I was locked in.
Rashad, tell them how unproductive you were.
I ain't even post. Like I forgot. I forgot to post some short clips. I forgot to post the entire Bad
Bad,
Batch
bad.
episode we did for the season for the series finale. I just
Yeah.
forgot because I was so locked in from like Thursday on. So yeah, man. I don't think people understand. Like, okay, I just want to quickly explain how much I love rap music.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't start really liking R&B music until like I was in college.
And by the way, and I can. This man is not lying. Me and Rashad are what, a year apart, or a
Yeah,
year, a
yeah.
half a year apart. We're a year apart. I'm a year older than Rashad, and it's funny that this dude really did not like R&B music like that. And we were, if y'all didn't know, we were in the band together at Norfolk State. Rashad played trumpet and French horn. I played saxophone. And I met Rashad during his college orientation. I was going into my sophomore year because a freshman. And it was just weird to me that a dude that was, a musician as we are, and be like, yeah, I ain't trying to hear that soft R&B stuff. My man was really like, and I'll never forget that when he said, when the first time he said that, I think that was when we was in our little crew that we had, and we all stopped and looked at you like, what? Like what? He was like, I ain't trying to hear that BS.
Nah, if it because like for real, because if it wasn't like old school like funk
Right.
or like
Mm-hmm.
70s era, I was not
Mm-hmm.
trying to hear it. So
People, he is not lying. I just want y'all to make that. If it
so
wasn't EWF, Cameo, you know what I'm saying? What KC
it,
Sunshine Band, all those from the '70s funk,
70s funk was
Parliament,
yeah,
Parliament.
or like legitimate jazz or
Mm-hmm.
jazz fusion. So
Mm-hmm.
I just want to use that as my qualifier. So when this thing popped off a couple of weeks ago, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like this, you know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
like that came out. Oh well, not even like that. What came out first? What's that track with J. Cole and Drake?
First person shooter came out
First was the
first.
shooter came out. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, and that song is a banger.
Mm-hmm.
First person shooter mode. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
that song is a banger. And
Mm-hmm.
then like that came out, and I was like, yo, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I see we doing Metro and Future. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be very honest. I'm not the biggest Future fan. I do understand and appreciate what he's done, especially like for Atlanta, but like in the wider culture. I mean, come on, this man wrote "Drunk in Love" for Beyonce. You have to respect Future.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I'm the
okay,
same. I'm the same way, by the way.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He has some catchy stuff though.
Kendrick verse was like,
Mm-hmm.
no matter big three, it's the big me.
Me.
And I felt I said, okay, Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
And then what did Drake drop after that? What was it that
Drake dropped well, first J. Cole dropped 7 Minute Drill.
but I don't even count that. You know what I'm
Okay, so
saying?
we
Because
so
like
we just gonna talk
I'm not even
Kendrick and
talking
Drake.
like J.
Yeah,
Cole, you know what I'm saying?
he messed it all
Fade
up
now
with
is
a lot
fine
of
as he said, hey man, I understand how that feels when like when your spirit not right. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like you
yeah,
feel it that I know he must have felt a great deal of something that we all, especially growing up, how we grew up, a great deal
yeah.
of anxiety. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And when you got and I'm glad for his spirit and his family
Pressure.
that he let that anxiety go. I said, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta bow out. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
gracefully bowed out.
Gracefully bowed out at a concert. I
So
said, "Look, dog," and made a 3-minute speech, and I was like, "Man, shut up, yo."
yeah.
You sound whack, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
But now, like in
He let Nas
retrospect,
he let Nas down, but in retrospect, for real.
nah, man, he chose his
Yeah.
piece.
So after like that, and of course the J. Cole situation or whatever, Drake dropped 40 push-ups. And he dropped that. And I remember I was like, okay, that's what I'm talking about here.
Okay,
let's
Drizzy.
let's go, Drizzy, right here. And it went, everybody was like, yo, when Kendrick gonna reply? And I mean, it went days and then nothing. And then the end of that week that he dropped 40 push-ups, Drake tried to pull a Meek Mill on Kendrick, because we all remember when Drake did the battle with Kendrick with Meek Mill. He dropped the first drop, I can't remember the name of it, and then he dropped back to back, and that kind
Yeah,
of was like, whoop, that's the nail in the coffin.
because nobody remembers the first thing.
Right. So then he kind of did the same thing with Kendrick, and he dropped Tailor Made. I said, ooh.
And to me, like the like push-ups was funny. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was like,
Yeah.
yo, like
A lot of
a lot
punchlines
of
and stuff.
punchlines, calling them
Yeah.
small and short. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Which I understand as a small stature gentleman myself. I was like, all right, like I get it. Those is like low hanging fruit, so to speak. So I said, I
Mm-hmm.
get it. But Taylor Made Freestyle came out, and I was like, ill. I don't like Taylor Made Freestyle because
Mm-hmm.
this man used AI. And not only use
Yeah.
AI, he used it poorly, because
Mm-hmm.
if you're gonna do Tupac, then you need to at least take the time to have your writers write it in Tupac's cadence. It just
Mm-hmm.
sounded like Drake cosplaying as Tupac.
Mm-hmm.
And then to have Snoop Dogg, who was still alive,
Live, yeah.
and use that. And oddly enough, Snoop hasn't said anything about that. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure that means he fully addressed that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because for him not to say anything about it, Snoop is a public figure. He'd be promoting sketchers and all types of stuff. He could have easily said something.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So Taylor Made came out. That came out like that Friday. It was like a Friday night. I listened to like that Saturday. Matter of fact, April 24th. It was like
Yep.
late
Mm-hmm.
Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. And on the 6th day.
Yeah. And on the 6th day, on April 3rd,
April
2000,
30th.
or April 30th. I said third, Lord. April 30th, 2024. Kendrick Lamar Duckworth dropped Euphoria. Now, I want to say this again. Me and Rashad both said this at the beginning of this. We like both guys for what they do. You know what I'm saying? For what they do. I'm not I hate Drake. I know there's people that hate Drake or whatever. And it's like really nobody that's in between. Like, Drake's cool. It's like people that's like either you like him, it's either you don't like him, you like him, or you super duper he's your goat like him. Like that. Would you agree with that,
Nah,
Rashad? Like,
that's kind of the dynamic has been.
right. It's like you don't like him. You're like, yo, Drake is cool. I like him. And then you have he's the greatest to ever do it. He's kind of like, to most people, I equate Drake to LeBron James.
That's an accurate analogy. You know
To
what I'm
LeBron,
saying?
as far as like
Current. That's a good like current
currently,
analogy. Yeah.
and especially like how polarizing he is as an artist or whatnot.
Tone, I got one for you. Either you like him or you DJ academics like him.
Yo, DJ Academics, this dude here. Yo, I'm gonna talk about that in a second. So
Euphoria.
he drops Euphoria, and everybody was like, "Yes, sir." I knew. I was like, "Oh,
Bruh, like
I felt that in my soul, bro."
I listened to Euphoria.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was still at work. Like, and it came on with that and I think this is one thing I have heard anybody say.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of the song, it took me a second because I was just so. It took me a second to figure out what the sample was. I said, "No, just say the
You
Pendergrass."
can't win. It's the Wiz.
Nothing yet but I'm talking about the actual song.
Oh,
That's my latest and greatest inspiration. You know what I'm
mm-hmm,
saying? By Take the Pendergrass, which is funny
mm-hmm,
because he's basically saying that he's Drake's latest and greatest inspiration. Like,
uh-huh,
and nobody has said anything about that. Like that,
mm-mm.
but that I mean, because there's no reason to have that particular Teddy. It's so much Teddy Pendergrass he could have picked, or just old school '70s soul music.
Yeah,
But that right there, I was like, oh, you
yeah,
funny.
that. And then on top of that, there was a scene from the movie The Wiz is Richard Pryor, and it's played backwards. And if you play it in the right order, it's the scene after, you know, what's her name? Diana Ross, you know, as Dorothy and them, they discover that Richard Pryor was the Wiz, and he's like, everything about me is true. I'm a fraud. It's basically like how he's like saying, everything about me is true. I'm a fraud. That's what he's saying, but they played it backwards. Or, you
Yo,
know, played it
that
backwards. And
was.
yeah.
I said,
And
man,
Kendrick proceeds to just go, you know, he goes in. Yeah, like
three
I
beat
don't have
switches,
yeah. It
six and
was
a
a
half
6 minute,
minutes.
6.5 minutes, three beat switches, and it was like, good God. I mean, he attacked this man as a person.
It's like it's so like okay, like I don't I'm not about to sit here and explain
Mm-mm,
just all the layers and meanings to this song. You can guys can go and do like I did the whole weekend and just scroll through TikTok and Twitter. But
mm-hmm.
for real, Euphoria was a beast of a song.
You know,
Go
you know,
ahead.
he basically did. He basically said that line that Tupac had said to Biggie, it hit about style. F F Drake as what do you say, F Bad Boy as a company, as a as a as an organization, as a
As a
mother effing
click.
as a clique, and as a mother effing crew. He basically said that F Drake as a person, OVO as a clique, and as a mother effing crew. That's what he basically said to him in Euphoria. And he also told him, by the way, you're a horrible parent.
Just planted that seed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
and the funny thing was like how like I like the fact that he had enough self awareness to say, "Hey, I hate you, but you are good at what you do." Like the
Yeah.
fact that that's what made it even more funny to me. He's like, "I like Drake
Yeah.
when melodies. I don't like Drake when they act." So I said, "Oh,
Right.
me
And he says,
too."
I'm the number one hater. And my man just went down. I hate the way
Exactly.
you, he says, I'm the biggest hater. I hate the way you walk. I hate the way you talk. I hate the way you dress. He just went down the road of that. You were just like, sheesh. That's all you can say was sheesh after he did that. And so what
He said
happened
you
next?
can't. What did he say? He said you can't get no cool because you hang with Lil Yacht with Lil Yachty. I don't
Naughty,
know who you
right.
hang with.
Yeah, right. He's like, I don't know who you hang with. And so everybody was like, sheesh, when he dropped that. And so you had the folks that was like, God damn, Drake, where you at? Let's go. And you know, you think, okay, cool, we're gonna wait for Drake's reply. You know what? To quote what Drake said in 40 push-ups, nah. You can't run away from this now, whatever. Kendrick proceeds on May 3rd, 2024, last Friday, this past Friday. 3 days after dropping Euphoria, he sends Instagram reel caption 616 in LA. And it had the new disc, which was 616 in LA. And good God, we were like, what in the world? What the world we got here? Kendrick proceeds to just go in again. He basically back to back Drake, and
Yeah,
it was even more scathing. And what's even more crazy, and this is when I love about rap beefs, and especially when people use their head, use their thought process. One thing I give Drake credit for, he does do that, but Kendrick did the same thing. The last song that Drake dropped was Tailor Made. Kendrick went and got Taylor Swift's producer to produce this track. So I guess you could say this was Tailor Made. This was Tailor Made. Loved it. I love I I loved it. And then there were so many what's the word I'm looking for, Rashad, with 616. There were so many references that people found out that came with the date or time of 616.
So
I mean, let's
many.
see. The TV show Euphoria came out on 616, and a lot of people did. I didn't know this at the time. Drake was an executive producer on that show. Also, 616 is Tupac's birthday, if I'm not mistaken. 616 was the day of something with the OJ. Was the day the OJ trial started,
Something like or like
or like the funeral
Nicole
for
Brown
like,
got buried,
yeah,
funeral.
Nicole Brown got buried.
Yeah, it was a
I mean, it
lot.
was it was a
It could
lot
have
of
been
stuff.
it could have been one of like maybe four Bible verses. Like
Yeah, yeah. Oh
it
my
was it
god.
was it was crazy, man. So like May 3rd that Friday was like I went to sleep like, yo, this is
Right.
wild. Just to wake up.
So what were you up when?
No, I was
Okay.
knocked out.
I was up. So like I said, Kendrick dropped that May 3rd, 2024. Let's say he dropped that like around
It was in the afternoon, right?
afternoon, like 1-ish, two
Yeah,
o'clock or
yeah, yeah, yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Cool. I remember I took a nap because your boy was tired, and I woke up in the middle of the night, like around 8 o'clock or so, watching TV or whatever. And I said, well, let me just see what's going on the socials. And I hear people saying, yo, Drake came back hard. Drake came back hard. And I said, oh. And this is like around what time was that, Rashad? Probably about
Like 10 or something
10,
like that.
10
Yeah.
o'clock, 10, let's say 10 o'clock, 10:30ish, if that's in between that area. And he drops Family Matters with the thumbnail showing like the title screen for the TV show Family Matters, with Steve Urkel, did I do that? Or whatever. And I was like, okay. And this is 7 minutes long. And on top of that, it's a music video kind of that goes with it. And I said, and the funny thing I liked about it was, of course, on Euphoria, Kendrick ended the song with, we don't want to hear you say no more. The N word, no more. Said, you don't want to hear that no more, Drake. Drake, once again, like I said, I give him credit for being smart in how he do things. He started Family Matters off with I think his mom said, first off, I don't think you should start the song with it. He comes out with N-word, and he says it so forcefully. I said, oh. And Drake proceeds to go in with the first, he said a three beat change song as well. He basically picks up kind of where 40 push-ups dropped off. It was a beat
Yeah.
that he dropped off with that, and he went, and then too with the visuals to go with it, he actually, I guess, somehow purchased not the exact same van, but a replica of the van that Kendrick had on the cover of Good Kid, Mad City
Yeah.
album or whatever, and he took it to the dumpster and they get it crushed or whatever, and he's doing his thing. Then Drake gets the beat change to a good new fashion, I can say old fashioned New York drill beat. And the thing is, on this one, on that part of the song, he kind of doesn't say nothing about Kendrick. He might say one or two lines about Kendrick, but he addresses everybody else who's had something to say to him. He addresses Rick Ross. He addresses Metro. I don't think he said something about Future, didn't he?
Future.
He mentioned Future.
Weekend.
He takes it even back to the beef with him and Weekend, Abel,
And he even like was like throwing shots at Rihanna ASAP.
Right. He was throwing shots at Rihanna ASAP. For those of y'all don't know, that man is still hurt after what happened in the MTV Awards. And that was like, I'm a type of person, when you embarrass yourself and it's your fault, I really
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
have no I don't really,
yeah. You
but
got to stand in there,
you got
yo.
to stand on it. But Rashad, do you remember when he was the one presenting Rihanna with like the Video Vanguard Award?
I do.
And I mean, he got up on stage. I mean, he had a tuxedo on and everything. And he was like, he poured his heart out to this woman. He was like, I've loved Robin. He called Rihanna by her government name since we were 16 years old. She's an amazing. I said, is this man about to propose to this woman on national TV like that? He called her on stage. She came up there. He went in for the kiss, and she did the meanest head curve I ever seen. I said, "Oh no!" And after that, things, as the album said, things were never the same. You're all weak people. Things were never the same. But anyway, he's going in on that, and he really spazzed on that drill part. But then he gets another beat change, and he goes back on to Kendrick. He talks
And
about
that last like 2 minutes of that song,
yeah,
the best part of that entire song.
yeah, the
Like
best part of it,
the
yeah,
best part, the best beat.
yeah,
It should like I feel like that should have been the entire song.
yeah,
Like
right, right.
that
It
part.
felt like it should have been three separate songs, but he just put them all as one. But he put all his energy into that last 2 minutes.
And
I
it's
mean,
and
he
Tony,
addressed whatever beef. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, that kind of leads to the point of view saying like it feels like he picked up where like push ups left off.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like a very like we Lego this song together. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like I like that's why to me like when I got to the end of it, because I was like, okay, all right, okay, all right.
Yeah.
And I got to the end, I was
And,
like, oh,
and he addressed Kendrick. He he addressed Pharrell. Like I didn't even know Drake and Pharrell had any beef or whatever, but apparently they kind of do. And then too, he had a guy holding up. Apparently, he purchased all of Pharrell's like
yeah, you remember that
gold.
a few years back. Remember when Pharrell was like auctioning stuff off like out of his like personal collection?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like Drake
And
got the
that's
he got like the old like NERD and the old ice cream stuff, like the
yeah,
all
yeah,
that
yeah,
like
yeah,
mid
yeah.
2000s gaudy
Yeah.
jewelry. Yeah, he got
You
that.
know, so yeah, so like a lot of people don't know. Some people, most people know, but some people don't. You know, and since I'm from that area, I can hype it up. Drake was a big fan of the 757 VA rap scene. Like he said, the Clips were his favorite group. You know, of course, Pharrell was killing it producing wise. So he has a microphone with like the Clips signature and stuff on it that he rapped about and everything. But we don't talk about that. And he was just going in. I mean, he went in and spazzed on the last 2 minutes. And he made reference to Kendrick possibly being a domestic abuser to his, not sure
Fiance.
if it's his wife or his fiance or whatever. He said y'all been engaged since 2015. I guess this wedding ain't gonna never, you know what I'm saying, never happen type stuff. He made reference to possibly a friend of Kendrick, Dave Free, is the father of, one of Kendrick's
Children.
kids,
Yeah,
potential
yeah.
kids and stuff, and you was just like, oh man. And I imagine after Drake dropped that, him and his crew, Chubbs, 40, Baca, all of them was like in the studio, high-fiving. Yo, he done. We got this kid. We got him. It's a wrap. They in there, doing all the new age dances and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Hitting with the folks, and all that stuff. Well, 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, before I even get to that, DJ Academics, who is like Drake's super fan, loves Drake. He was live. I was, like I said, I was up for this, and I went checked his live out. My man was up. He was like, "Yeah, that's my goat. I told y'all, that's my goat." He just kept looping the song over and over again, going back. That's my goat. Yeah, where are y'all Kendrick folk at there? Talking cash trash. And then he just happened to look at the comments. And somebody was like, "Yo, Kendrick dropped the response." He like, "Huh?" he said, "Huh?" Man, Kendrick ain't dropped no response. This is like 20, 30 minutes after and people are like, no, yo, Kendrick has dropped the response. Then the academics basically goes on his computer and he pulls it up. And he's like, he had to refresh Google like a couple of times. And he was like, wait a minute, this man made, yo, he made a response already? No, no, no. Kendrick Lamar dropped Meet the Grams. I don't know about you, Rashad, but for me, Meet the Grams is one of the most disrespectful.
Tony.
It's one of the most disrespectful diss tracks I've ever heard. Like it's really diabolical and disrespectful because
Tony.
this I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna let you go, Rashad. This man started this song with Dear Adonis. He had a conversation with Drake's son. I'm sorry, that's your dad. I said, oh, oh my God. Oh,
I'm sorry that your man is that man is your father.
that man is your father.
I wish that his father would have worn a
I wish
condom.
his father would have worn a condom.
Which means that he would have never been born. Like, just the implications of that is like, okay. So I listened to, like, again, like I woke up Saturday morning. So I'm like, I'm about to go get my coffee, driving to Starbucks. I'm listening to Family Matters. Like, all right, yo, it's like, damn, that's a solid comeback.
Yeah.
I said, let me go and find Meet the Grams. When I mean, I have, okay, one, shout out Alchemist.
Yeah.
The Alchemist knows how to flip a beat. I think Alchemist is probably top 7 hip hop producer all time.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
And when I mean, I don't even understand Tony. I like this production is so maniacal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
It sounded like a horror movie, and it's like the main villain killer, like an old school like 80s 90s slasher flick. And the way the beat was flipped, it sounded like this person, this killer, was walking you down and just kept getting closer and closer and was about to kill you.
Because on the real, like this beat had a real, like you said, I'm glad you brought it in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And this had like a 90s like horrorcore killer army type
Grave
feel,
diggers.
grave diggers
Mm-hmm.
type, like that, those subdivisions of the Wu-Tang Clan type feel,
Mm-hmm.
that RZA would just be and Fourth Disciple would just be produced out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So let me get back on track. And I'm listening to this song. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. He's like really talking to his son. Then he starts talking to his mom, talks to his dad, talks to his mama again, and then he addresses the rest of the song to Drake.
Well,
And I'm like,
don't forget the daughter.
oh yeah, my bad. And to his 11-year-old daughter, it's I, I it, this yo this is up there with Ether. This is up there with Dagon with Pusha T. You know what I'm saying? Against Aubrey. Like it's
scathing.
It's
scathing.
It's unrelenting. You know what I'm saying? It felt like I needed to make sure that my life was straight, and I did right by like my family and kids. So I'm like, yo, like I would never want to be like undressed like that in front of the whole world. Like that is crazy.
And to me, what the killing blow was the last line of the song. F a rap battle. This is a long life battle with yourself. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Do 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 do.
Right. Oh my God. Yo, he completely undressed Drake. And the crazy part is he told this dude, yo, I got information from somebody in your crew. Mind you, this is the same thing Pusha T told this dude, how many years ago?
That's like 2017, 26.
2017. Pusha
Yeah.
T told him the same thing, like, yo, you got somebody in your crew. You know what I'm saying? And he even told him, yo, there's people in your crew who glad this is happening to you. Basically saying, yo, you getting too big. As my grandma used to say, you getting too big for your britches, boy. You need
Yeah.
to go out there and get that switch put to you. And we were just like, everybody was just like, and then brought up once again some scathing allegations about Drake, as far as, the things that are going on right now that's starting to come to light, in the Hollywood media, Hollywood and music scene about, sex trafficking, sex training and stuff. Yeah, and I'm saying grooming and stuff like that. And that dropped. And I just remember, like I said, I saw it, I heard it, and then I went back to Academics' live. My man was like this. He went from, hey, partying it up on Family Matters to,
I mean, because it's the most, it's it's really, it's
yeah,
terrible, like in such a good way. Like
yeah.
I know like a lot of people are gonna say like like you know what happened?
What's that?
This is when like when this thing pivoted to the point where people was like,
Yo, it's too far.
oh my God, yo, this is too much for me. And I'm like, give me more.
I just want to make a quote real quick. People were like, yo, this is too far. To quote Charlie Murphy impersonating Rick James on the extra stuff for the Chappelle show. Hey, Rick, you done gone too far. Rick James be like, there's no such place. There's no such place. Like today on my show that I work on, direct or whatever, we talked about this in our celebrity dish segment, and the celebrity dish guest that came in was like, this is the epitome of you you go low, I'm gonna take you to hell. And I'm here for
Yes.
it. Sorry, I am.
Every
I
bit.
am.
I'm sorry. Like this is what we're here for. I'm not
Right.
sure. And because with that being said, your boy Kendrick Lamar came through at about like shoot
On
at
May 4th, 2024, like
Saturday. Remember like eight,
Saturday.
like 7, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, about 7, 8 o'clock
Yeah,
that
because
night.
I went somewhere,
Uh-huh.
came back in the house,
Mm-hmm.
was chilling. I said, let me just check. Let me check. I see Kendrick drops Not Like Us. And then, matter of fact, me and Maddie watched it together on YouTube. So I'm like, yo, what is that? And then she's like, yo, she got the daggone sex offender dots over the house. I was like, oh, that's what the red mean. I mean, because I was
Mm-hmm.
clued in like that. But yo, this man comes in, muzzing on a beat.
Yeah.
Like this, like
And I love that. I love that he picked that, because there were some people that were trying to be like, man, the super Drake fans, I want to say, were like, man, Drake had the better beats. What are we doing? This ain't no beat battle. This is rap beef, battle rap, whatever. They were saying that Drake had the better beats. Granted, I feel Drake may have had the better overall beats than him.
I
But
mean,
Kendrick's,
I mean, really,
yeah,
Takeover is a better track than Ether.
yeah,
It's,
definitely.
it,
It's a better track than Ether. And it's crazy because it's like people have said that's Drake's formula. He's gonna get when he's battle rapping somebody, he's gonna drop a song that's playable on the radio to get radio play and get people to bobbing and stuff. And he did. And then Kendrick came back with Mustard on the Beat. And this was possibly the most 90s West Coast vibe track I've heard in,
Bruh.
yeah. When I started hearing it, hey, I'm not affiliated. I started trip walking to the Danco house as soon as I go in my crib. As soon as I heard that, I was like, I started crip walking. And then, please don't come after me. I'm sorry. The song just made me feel a certain type of way. That's all. That's all. Please, please.
It was great, yo. And
Yeah.
I was listening to this song, man, and like it's like the first like verse or so. It was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then gets to the end of the joint. And of course, the most infamous line was like, trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A
A
minor.
minor, and the fact that he sung it. Once again, we are music people, folks. He said A minor and then sung it in A minor, and that was,
I said,
yeah,
yo,
man.
it gets to the middle of the song and it's still killing it. It gets to the end of the song. Your man gives us a history lesson just for us to tell us that your man's a colonizer. And then
Yeah,
and then to have a classic call and response, which is a
yes.
very black thing to do. You know what I'm saying?
Ho, ho, be ho. But
And
here's the other thing about it is too, the reference, the Atlanta history. I love that and appreciate it. And giving the history of it and calling Drake a colonizer is because Drake, he rapped, you always rapping like you trying to free the slaves. I was like, that's supposed to be a bad thing or something like that. And Kendrick completely flipped that and basically was like, yeah, you only go to Atlanta when you went to Atlanta when you need to get party, you know what I'm saying? You need to get party cred. So you got with Future. You went to Atlanta when you need to get some street cred when you got with 21 Savage. And I mean he just went in on him. And like you said, did a call and response. And then my favorite part was he a fan. He a fan. And I think that part went over a lot of people. Hey, he wasn't calling him a fan as is like, yo, he's a fan of me. He was saying as a fan as an acronym.
yeah, which is
freaky,
even
freaky
more.
ass. He said he a fan, he a freaky. That's what a freaky ass N-word, yo.
I
I said,
was crying.
because remember I texted that to you. I said
Yeah,
he a fan. You was just
yeah.
like, wow.
Because I ain't catch it first time either,
Yo,
yo.
I said, yo, this dude Kendrick is wild.
And
And
like I can't even lie. My favorite part of the song is when he gets to the end, he's like, now step this way. My man says, "Are you my friend? Are we locked
I
in?"
did. Yo, he basically hit him with the Tootsie slide. Cause remember, he even told him, and you can't Tootsie slide out of this right. Yo, it's oh man, it was great, man. And then last night, I was asleep for when this happened. I saw it this morning when I woke up. Drake finally came back with a response
Yeah,
to
part
the Heart
six.
Part Six.
And it was
Um,
funny, right? So let
uh-huh.
me tell you,
Yeah.
me and Dez was up. You know what I'm saying? And Dez like, yo, Trey just dropped something. We listening to it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
We get Desiree gets like 2 minutes in and just stops it. Said, I'm done. I can't listen more to this.
I mean, the Heart Part Six, it has some bars in it, but it's more of a, to me, this was Drake waving the white flag, but kind of going down like, I'm gonna wave the white flag, but I'm gonna still throw some comments out here for you. And he basically said, I'm done with this, but a lot of stuff that he said in it made absolutely no sense.
It was a lot of like circular reasoning going on.
Yeah.
When you like when I and I started, I was like, this don't make sense. You know what I'm
Yeah, like
saying?
what he said, he was like, "Oh, those cornballs that fed you that information," but then you turn around and say, "Yeah, we fed you those information. So are y'all the cornballs that fed him? You know what I'm saying? That fed him that information or whatever." And then you went on to say it was like, then you say, "I'm too rich. to want to be with the underage, with the mess with an underage girl. Sir, R. Kelly, Epstein Island. What are we doing? What are we
There's
doing?
so many countless examples of rich
Yeah,
people exploiting the children. They're the ones who usually do it a lot
right. You know,
on like a market scale. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So it to me it didn't hit home like I think it should have. Like I said, was he on some verses spitting? Yes, but it was the more of an apology tour and a look. I'm done, but I'm gonna still address a few things. But I'm done with this or whatever.
Tony, he spent the last 2 minutes talking.
Yeah, yeah,
I said, bro, I'm not here to be verbalizing these thoughts. I need you
yeah.
I need you to actually be giving me some lines here.
Mm-hmm.
I said I'm about to listen to him talk for 2 minutes. So I'll turn it
Yeah,
off after that too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's. I will say this: it is a time. It was. This is like one of those time to be alive for hip hop moments, or what saying, or whatever. This. I would not be surprised if by the time we post this this podcast that Kendrick might drop one more for a nail in the coffin type thing or whatever. But I don't think Drake is gonna respond back because he even made it seem like he's not gonna respond. I think he's not gracefully bowing out, but like, yo, I surrender, dude. But yo, F you, you know what I'm saying? It's like somebody holding on. They're like, you can either die, get shot, or jump off the ledge. You know what? F you. Jumps
Oh
off the ledge.
man.
F
That's
you.
that's very accurate, man. Like, yeah. I I felt I felt like he was definitely like you ever hear somebody like after they've been crying, like try to talk, you know what I'm saying? And like they really trying to gather themselves.
Yeah.
That's how I felt like he was looking in the studio as he was rapping. It's like he just got finished like a hearty cry. Like it was very sad. You can even hear it in his voice. He just sounds like deflated. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just like,
And he's just
Lord, I'm
he's fighting
tired.
for scraps of just trying to say, trying to say something. So
Lord knows
yeah.
I'm tired. So that's how I
Uh
feel with that.
let's just say this weekend was lit, Rashad. To say
This
the
was
least.
one of the most entertaining portions of my adult life. I can't even lie.
Let,
This
let me
this
let me
this was good.
let me ask you this: where would you rank this battle in the pantheon of rap beefs?
Oh man, I mean, so there's a whole lot of it's like, Queensbridge and Bronx.
Uh huh.
We got LL, Ice
Uh,
T, LL, and
was it cool? Not cool.
Kumo D.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kumo D, LL
Yeah.
Kumo D,
It's
Ice Cube versus NWA,
Ice Cube and
versus
Common.
Common, Ice Cube
Um,
versus Cypress Hill.
yeah,
Of
yeah.
course, the one that's probably a little bit more near and dear to us because that was like in our prime time, Jay Z and not, saying
Nas and Jay
two
Z,
Nas and Jay Z, Pac and Big,
Pac and Big. But like, yeah, that's not really it really wasn't like having no
Yeah, so we'll
female.
just say what it was a West Coast East Coast
Yeah,
type. It
yeah,
was a West Coast East Coast
yeah.
type thing or whatever.
This man,
Because Pac and Big never Pac came at Big, but Big never came at Pac
nah, he
for
just
real.
had he had like a couple of one-liners in songs, but
Yeah,
especially like Brooklyn's
yeah,
Finest with Jay-Z. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Or like, Long Kiss Goodnight. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Um,
I am Slugs hit you. I ain't mad at you. We ain't mad at you.
right,
So there's a couple. I mean, but like, yo, this is man. I
and at one
hate
point I
like
said, I don't think this ever gonna end. And the thing is, it still might not, but I doubt. But I think,
this is very open ended. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Knowing Kendrick, he can pop up like 4th of July with a song just to ruin our whole holiday.
right.
So I don't know, yo.
Knowing this dude, he might there go. I don't even know. Does Canada have an Independence Day? He might drop something on Canada's Independence Day or something.
That
So
is
what's a holiday
funny.
Toronto has? Or he might even do something even pettier and drop. it dropped on his birthday, on Drake's birthday. Drake is a fellow Scorpio like myself, but he
That
like
would be so funny.
that's just that's just how things went. Ain't that when that's when Nas dropped Ether, like on Ho's birthday? Am I not mistaken, or was it?
It was cold outside. I do remember
I
that.
think it was on Ho's birthday that he dropped
It was
Ether.
on December 4th. That's
I think
funny.
he dropped. I think he dropped Ether, man. So yeah, man. Phew. As you can see, like I said, me and Rashad are music guys, man, and we, and I just want to say, this was completely not planned. This
Very
was
this
this
is
this
very
this
impromptu.
impromptu. This is not planned at all. We were just get ready to talk about something else that we're probably still going to do in a few minutes.
But if you do like this type of stuff,
Yeah,
definitely comment. You know what I'm saying? Let us
yes,
know because we'll do more random stuff like this. Also, more importantly, if you want more stuff like this, join the Patreon.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just saying, man, like if
yeah,
we had, a little bit more, actual time and money to do this,
right,
we
yeah,
would for certain definitely
yeah,
look out for our core audience of people. That's what we want to create as a community to
yeah,
where we can do this type of stuff all the time, man. But yeah,
yeah, man.
that is it for this, man. We catch you guys on the next one.
All right. Upon further review, we got to come up with a name for this part.
Nah, man. I don't know. We figure it out.
Yeah.